Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Not long ago, a group of scientists conducted an experiment that overturned our understanding of what reality is. It was named the Frauchiger-Renner experiment. After it was carried out, it became clear that the concept of a single truth no longer works. The essence was simple and terrifying. Several researchers participated in the experiment at once. All of them conducted the exact same quantum experiment, but each from their own point of view. Each of them followed the same rules, the same conditions, the same particle. But when it came time to compare the results, chaos began. The realities did not match. They didn't just see different numbers, they described different worlds. It was as if one said the object disappeared, the second said it split into two, the third said it remained the same, and the fourth saw it become something else entirely. But the main thing was that all of them were right within the framework of their observation, their system, their position. Each of them received a correct result. Imagine you are playing a game. One sees a live woman in front of them, the second sees a hologram, the third sees a doll. But none of them are lying. Each has their own truth. And this truth is not just an opinion, it is their reality. The Frauchiger-Renner experiment proved the main point. Truth is no longer objective. It does not have a single owner. The world is not a stage with shared scenery. It is a game where everyone has their own engine, their own screen, their own physics. And if you still believe that there is only one version of what is happening, one line of events, perhaps you simply weren't looking around. Welcome to a new version of the world, where reality depends on who is looking at it. And now stop and think. You perhaps always believed that you live in one shared world, that you and other people walk on the same earth, see the same sky, share the same reality. But what if you don't? What if everyone has their own world, their own version of the street you are both walking down, their own version of the events you are discussing, their own truth in a literal, non-metaphorical sense? The Frauchiger-Renner experiment confirmed this. Different observers see different outcomes, and all of them are real. This means there is no single stage on which everyone plays. There are multiple stages, multiple worlds. They overlap and intersect, but they never completely coincide. This is why it can feel like you are not understood. This is why you and a loved one remember the exact same moment differently, and neither of you is lying. You are simply in different branches of reality. This is not a metaphor. This is not everyone has their own truth in a philosophical sense. It is literal, like two players connected to different servers of the exact same game. The model is one, but the physics are unique to each player. Now listen closely to this. If you are an observer, you are simultaneously a creator. You don't just see. You build what you see. You are not a guest in reality. You are its architect. Not the whole world changes. Only your version of this world changes. If everyone sees their own version of reality, if the facts can be different, then who decides what is real and what is not? The answer is you. Not some scientist, not the crowd, not an algorithm. You are the observer, and that means you are one of the co-authors. Right now it sounds beautiful, almost like a metaphor. But no, we are speaking literally. The experiment we just told you about destroyed the very idea of objective reality. Previously, it was believed that the world is one table, one lamp, one outcome. Now we know a lamp can have several states simultaneously until you look at it. And when you look, it will choose. You don't find out what it was like. It becomes what you are ready to see. This is why everyone has their own truth. This is why the world adjusts. This is why sometimes you know for sure. If I had gone a different way yesterday, everything would be different. You are not fantasizing. You felt an intersection with another timeline of events. Because you are not just walking through the game, you are laying its path. While others live by the rules, you can rewrite them. If you decide to step out of the role and realize you are the author of the script, not just its performer. You are used to thinking that truth is one single thing, that there is a fact, there is reality, there is truth. But in the new world, everything is structured differently. When scientists saw that the exact same experiment yielded different results, they didn't believe it. This is not an error. This is not a technical glitch. This is a feature of the very nature of reality. In classical physics, you can repeat an experiment, and the result will be the exact same. But in the quantum world, everything depends on who is looking, because the observer and reality are now inseparable. There is no longer a wall between you and the outside world. You are not just an eye. You are the key that chooses the door. This is why one person can see the world as hell, and another as a field of opportunities. They have different versions of the game, and both are real. As long as you believe in one truth, you are in a trap. You will argue, prove, judge. You will fight for your version and won't notice how reality begins to shrink around you. But if you realize that there are many truths, you will gain access to a new level of the game where you can choose, where you can rewrite, where you are not a hostage of someone else's version, but the architect of your own. You have probably heard of quantum observation, but are you truly ready for what I am about to say now? There is an experiment that breaks the familiar logic of time. It is called the delayed choice experiment. It was first proposed by physicist John Wheeler. Later, it was refined, resulting in an even more insane scenario, the quantum eraser. Here is the essence. You take a photon and direct it at a screen with two slits, just like in the classics. If you don't look at which slit it passed through, the photon behaves like a wave. It passes through both slits at once, creating interference. But if you decide to measure its path, it becomes a particle. It chooses a specific slit. But here is the twist. You can make the decision to observe or not observe after the photon has already passed through the slits. After. In normal logic, this is impossible. The past has already happened. But no. If you decide to erase the information, it becomes a wave again. By your actions in the present, you change how the event behaved in the past. What does this mean? It means that in the quantum world, the past does not exist until you choose it in the present. You think you are just observing the world? No, you are editing it. You are the one who chooses which version reality will be. Even retroactively, this is no longer just a theory. This is the result of an experiment. Not just once, not in just one laboratory. And now ask yourself a question. If you can choose the past, then who are you really? A regular player, or the one who creates the rules? Look around. Do you see walls? Do you see a screen? Do you hear sounds? You think you are perceiving the world. But here is the truth. You have never seen the world directly. Never. You only perceive an interface, just like in a computer. An icon on the desktop does not mean that a folder actually lies inside it. It is merely a symbol. It is the same with our reality. A table, a tree, a person, these are icons, programs that you read. In 2019, cognitive scientist Professor Donald Hoffman put forward a theory. Evolution did not create us to see the truth. It created us to survive. And to survive, you don't need to see the truth. That is, everything you see is a simplified hologram adapted to your senses, a convenient interface to make it easier for the brain to function under conditions of limited energy and speed. You don't see atoms, you don't feel radiation, you don't perceive magnetic fields. The world is structured much more complexly than it seems to us, but we only see what is necessary for our current role. Now imagine, if everything is an interface, then where is the code? Who wrote these icons? And is it possible to rewrite the operating system itself? And now the main thing. If reality is an interface, then you are not a user, you are a designer. You can change the picture, change the script, change the rules. But first, you need to stop believing that the icon is reality. As long as you believe that the world is solid and unequivocal, you are in a trap. When you begin to see the structure behind the image, then for the first time you see not the external world, but how it is created. And as soon as you understand this, you will never be able to believe again that everything around is truly real. There is no single objective universe, none at all. Each person lives inside their own version of the world, and when you communicate, you are simply comparing simulations. This is not a poetic metaphor. This is what modern quantum physics has arrived at. There is an effect where observation doesn't just change the result, it creates it. You have your own history, your own rules, your own algorithms. Yes, for some people they are similar, but only because they were trained to look in the same direction. As soon as you turn around, the world around you changes, as if you are switching the channel. And suddenly you find out that what you considered reality was just one of millions of possible versions. Imagine that the whole world is a mirror, but not the mirror in which you see your reflection, but another one, a real one, the kind that doesn't just show you but begins to change under your gaze. You look, and it comes alive. You get angry, and it darkens. You love, and it opens up. You believe, and it becomes possible. This is reality. It doesn't wait for your permission. It waits for your choice. Every thought is a command. Every state is code that launches a new scene. You have long ceased to be a guest here. You are the master of the script, a director who forgot that they are holding the camera in their hands. But now you remembered, and that is the main thing. Because the moment you realize that everything outside is a reflection, you stop fighting and begin to create. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.